Man, it's been an age since I've seen the introduction video to Thief 2: The Metal Age. I don't know why they show Garrett actually killing people in... Well, maybe it's not Garrett. Maybe it's showing just a random other thief and what they're capable of should they turn their talents towards assassination instead of just thieving. I don't know. It sounds like the intro video looks like it really wants you to kill people in this game, which is not how I tend to play my Garrett or play through the Thief series. But I'm getting really distracted. Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another Let's Play with me, your host, Tim. And today, we're going to start playing through Thief 2: The Metal Age together again. There is some prep that you can skip by adjusting the YouTube slider to the appropriate spot. I'm going to segment this video so you can skip the prep here and get to the actual game itself in case you don't care about me rattling on about Thief 2 for a little bit. I'm going to talk about what this game is, how far I got in it, why we're playing it, and any special stuff or rules I'll be using as we play through this game together. So let's go ahead and get started. Thief 2 is obviously the sequel to the original Thief game, and involves us playing the role of Garrett, Master Thief. Our objectives will change depending upon the mission that we are in, and this is a first-person game. I like to say first-person shooter because it will play similarly to that, but it's not a fast-paced one, and generally doesn't tend to encourage you playing it in a way that involves murdering enemies. You want to sneak past guards, learn their patrol routes, scan a room, stay in the shadows, avoid making lots of noise, and steal as much of the loot as you can, because we'll be able to use what we acquire to purchase gear for the next mission that we'll find ourselves in, and thus make it easier for us to complete the tasks in that mission. This is a game I have not played very often. Not all the way through, at least, and I've tended to stick to the first 3 missions in Thief 2, whenever I've decided to pick this game up and try playing through it. So this will be the second time I am playing through this game in its entirety. As such, you should probably expect me to not really know the maps as much as I knew them in the first Thief. Many of this is going to seem very new to me, and the last time I played through the entire game was the last time it made it up on my channel, having beaten it before. So on that note, you should know that I have indeed beaten Thief 2 once, many years ago now. I think, what, like 5 years ago or so? 4 or 5 years ago was the last time I played through Thief 2. We're playing it again because I was in the mood to play through Thief 1, and I thought it would be thematic if we play through the Thief series again this year on my channel. And if I'm able to do it properly, which is to say continue with the upload schedule, then we will be playing Deadly Shadows, the Cradle mission, right when Halloween has arrived. So that's my intention. So thus we're playing through Thief 2, and we'll play through Deadly Shadows after we're done with this game as well. You should know that I am playing a modded version of Thief 2. I am running the high definition texture mod, so things should look absolutely gorgeous as we're playing through this game together. I also have upped the gamma from what I would normally be playing it as, and I'm going to ask any of you viewers who view this game as it gets uploaded within like the first few days, if you could let me know what you see on your screens, because I don't want it to end up being too dark, which was the case for Thief 1 in the first few videos. That can really put a damper on people's enjoyment of the game if they can't see anything at all when I'm recording this game. Generally, what you see on your screens, viewer, is dependent upon your settings, the video software that your YouTube is utilizing, and there's not much I can do on my screen other than try to gauge how dark it is for the majority of the people watching through the series. So if a few of you are mentioning that it's too dark, but most of you say it's fine, then we'll stick with the gamma levels I currently have things set on. Please let me know as well how my audio is coming out. I think it will be acceptable, but there is always the risk that my voice is a little too quiet compared to what's going on in the game with the ambient sounds in the background or the music that is playing. So if I struggle to get my voice above those things, please also tell me. But I will obviously sample my video before it is uploaded to make sure things are coming out okay. What else can we talk about? A few special rules for the Thief 2 series. I'm going to do this in a similar fashion to how I did things in the first Thief series, which is to say that I play Garrett as a thief, not a murderer. So I will be attempting to not kill anyone throughout this Let's Play. I think I avoided killing anyone in the recent Thief 1 playthrough. No living humans were killed. I suppose I should really be more specific. But I will have no problems defeating any undead monsters that we find, and I won't have any problems destroying any of the robotic enemies that we encounter, although it will be rather difficult to actually get that task accomplished. In the Thief 1 series, I had a special rule, which was that I will not knock out more than 2 people in a mission, as I felt like it really takes away from the difficulty of the game if I'm spending all my time knocking out people. I feel like it makes for a boring Let's Play, as I'm not really sneaking around avoiding guards. The game becomes a game about learning to patrol and figuring out where the best place is for me to knock out said guards, instead of actually trying to circumvent them. So I will have a similar rule for Thief 2. However, there are going to be some slight changes to this. Number 1, the first mission will require me to knock out people in order to safely have our companion navigate through the mansion. I believe on the expert difficulty for the first... Well, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. So I'm going to increase the number of knockouts in Thief 2 from 2 to 3. But know that in Thief 2, playing on the difficulty level that I'll be playing on, which is expert, that we will be limited gameplay-wise from the amount of knockouts we are allowed. The game will have a number and say you can't go over this number in quite a few of the missions that we do. And so that will be, for those such missions, obviously, the limit that I am allowed to knock out. Otherwise, if there is no limit, I will try to limit it to 3, with the exception of the first mission, in which case I will probably be knocking out 5 or 6 guards, just because it will be more or less a requirement. Whenever we see any tips for Thief 2, I must purchase them. Starting funds must be spent on them. I actually don't remember very many of the tips, and I will not reload the game to get that money back after buying the tips and reading them. It will count towards our starting gear. I will obviously not try to kill anyone. No, again, living humans. I will give myself 1 quick save during these missions, and if I die, that will be what I'm allowed to reload from. Each mission or each episode in this playthrough will be roughly an hour long, so you will see me trying to use that quick save about at the 30-minute mark. I can't think of any other special rules, so I think that's good to go. Alright, so let me check on my voice to make sure everything is coming out okay, and assuming things are, we will be back to actually hit new game. So give me a few seconds. Alright guys, my voice sounds like it's coming out well with what we're hearing currently, but we're not really hearing anything currently. So I'll have to hope that things are going to be set correctly when we get into the game. I should be able to tell how my voice is coming out with the things we hear in the background. On that note, I just remembered 2 more things to talk about quickly. Or not so quickly, because it's me doing the speaking. We're talking about me doing the speaking. So, for the Thief series, I don't like talking as much as I normally would, as I feel it robs us from the immersion of being in this world and being a thief. we're supposed to be quiet and be sneaking around at the locations we find ourselves in to gather information or steal the loot that's there. And so I will be doing less speaking in this game compared to other games. I know some people don't like that very much, but other people do like it very much, and I myself feel it's very thematic to do it the way I've been doing it for the Thief series. So as such, do not expect me to be talking all the time here in Thief. It will be reserved for when I'm walking back and forth, or when I'm waiting for a guard to go on a patrol, and I'll be speaking about why we're waiting, and when I plan to make my move to steal the loot, or look at the stuff, or knock someone out, for example. I will do some speaking about things, though, when it makes sense for us to do so. If we're backtracking, or if we have to wait around for a while, I will then talk to you guys then, as I normally would for other games I play. I also will be reading everything we find on screen. So all the texts we find, like any notes or scrolled journal entries, any books we find, I will be reading all of those with you guys. And with that said, I think we're good to go. So let's go ahead and start a new game. And, oh, I said I was playing on expert mode. That's not the case. We're playing on hard mode, not expert. I don't play on the highest difficulty setting, only because I must be allowed to defend myself if it comes down to it. Like, I must be allowed to take out my sword and whack someone to death. It's something I will try to avoid, but if push comes to shove, I'm gonna defend myself rather than let myself die. So, it's hard difficulty for me. It's also better for me, too, because expert requires us to find more loot, and I can't promise that I'll be able to find most of the loot in these missions, because I have not played most of these missions very often. Once again, I've tended to stick to only the first 3 missions whenever I play through Thief 2, and most of my time playing Thief 2 was spent playing fan missions, not the actual game itself, so it's going to be hard difficulty for us. Alright, let's get started.
I've always equated feelings with getting caught. They both get in the way of my money. Unfortunately, not everyone is as committed to their work as I am. An old associate of mine, Basso the boxman, wants to marry Lady Rumford's chambermaid, Genevieve, and live happily ever after. Guess prison life spoiled his taste for thievery. Too bad for Basso that Lady Rumford has other plans. Marriage would void Genevieve's indentured service contract, so Rumford is keeping her confined in the estate with the rest of her worldly possessions. Basso has asked for my assistance on getting her out, since infiltration is my specialty. I make it a policy never to take a job so sentimental, but the Rumford Manor could be a lucrative opportunity for a man like me. It would also mean that Basso would owe me a favor, and in this line of work you can never have too many of those. I'll sneak in after dark and clear a path for Basso so he can rescue his damsel in distress. Along the way, I'll pick up a few souvenirs for the local pawn shops. That should make all this aggravation worthwhile. Otherwise, I'll make Basso wish he was still rotting in Crag's Cleft. This proves it. Going legit is more trouble than it's worth.
Running interference. Difficulty hard. Once you're ready for Basso to go, give the signal using the bird call he gave you. You have to be close enough for him to hear it. Help Basso and Genevieve get out of the mansion together. You'll need to scout ahead to make sure Basso's route is safe. Luckily, Basso didn't say anything about not taking Lady Rumford's stuff. Get 300 in loot. Genevieve would be aghast if anybody died because of this. Don't kill anyone. Hey, everyone. Alright, this is indeed, by the way, the first mission. There is no tutorial in Thief 2. I'm guessing the game designers just assumed that people who would buy and play Thief 2 had already played Thief 1 and knew about mantling, different services produces different types of noise, how lockpicking works, and everything else of that sort. Because, well, we're launching straight into it in this one, which I like. Also note that we can't kill anyone even on hard difficulty here. Expert also has the same requirement, but this does mean that if we get cornered, we're not going to be able to kill a guard. Things went south. So we're just going to have to play Garrett a little better than I normally do, and make sure we're not detected. It's going to go south really quickly if we are. Also note that on the highest difficulty setting, that the game requires you to knock out 8 guards in the mansion. Quite a bit different than how I would tend to play the game, not knocking out anybody or trying to ghost a mission. However, in this mission, we have to knock people out. I think we have to, in order to make Basso's route safe for him to walk through, or he will be eliminated. Also, this is done for thematic reasons, because I believe later on in the game will restrict the amount of knockouts you are allowed. And I believe this mission is the reason why it does so, because otherwise people will know it was you who was there. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started.
I sprung the lock on the side door for you, Garrett. It's the only good way in.
Alright everyone, let's get started. Quite a large courtyard that Lady Gwen Rumsford possesses. Looks like there's a copper... I can just barely make it out, but there is a copper goblet there, right in the center under the light. And I can see a guard standing between the tree's boughs over there. 2 guards, it looks like. I can see, just barely make out another one. Yep. Both archers as well. Well, Basso mentioned unlocking a side door. Let's go ahead and see what work he's done. This must be the servants' entrance, I suppose. Let's take stock of our supplies before we go any further. We have no broadhead arrows. 15 water arrows. And that is it for arrows that we possess. Wow, not very much. We have the bird call, which we will need to whistle in order to let Basso know that he should come to save Genevieve. And that is it. That is it for our starting equipment. Alright then.
Good thing the butler's out for the night. He left his lights on.
Oh, that's interesting. That door leads directly to the butler's quarters. And the butler's room is quite spacious for a servant. Lady Rumsford must hold her butler in high regard. Now you'll note that Garrett does not start with lockpicks. We'll get them later on if I recall correctly. should try to find out where Genevieve's room is located. It's probably not upstairs, as there would be guest rooms for Lady Rumford's friends or people she entertains. Probably like most, the servants' rooms are kept here on the ground floor near the basement, and are probably pretty sparse. She wouldn't want people to see her servants coming and leaving their rooms. That light will be trouble for Basso, assuming he runs down this path. And it is definitely trouble for us, unless you want to risk going upstairs. I hear guards. I can see the window here. This is likely a guard post.
Oh, damn torches. Always sputtering out.
Well, don't just make tap over it. Light it up.
I lost my tinderbox. Oh, why don't you do it?
I ain't the one that's complaining, am I now?
Huh.
We are probably going to want to knock these two out somehow. But we can't access their room from this side. Interesting. You might have already noticed a big difference in this game from the first one. That was a female guard. There were very few girls who were on the guard's payroll in the first Thief. And no Hammerites were either. Remember that in Thief, if you lean into a door, you can hear what might be on the other side of it. It's a good thing to do that, to try to check to see if there's anyone on the other side in the room or hallway you're trying to enter. Well, let's get started with the knockouts. Power generator of some sort. The Rufford has probably a few electrical lights. The game also now has gas lights too, which is what this is. You can knock out gas lights with your water arrows. Furnace. Probably for the house, I'm guessing? This does look to be like a workshop room, but I don't see an anvil anywhere to actually work on metalsmithing in any way. The armory. And a new item. Flares. They can be used to briefly light up an area and extinguish themselves after maybe about 12 seconds or so. A flash bomb, healing potion. The game now, by the way, has secrets in it. It always did, but now you are told, compared to Thief 1, when you find a secret. Like this one. Another flare, a healing potion, some funds, and more flash bombs. Guards barracks. An archer patrolling that hallway. This must be the dining area for the servants and guards. There's a servant currently working down here. Goes through that door again, we'll try rushing through this room to get to that shadow. Going to want to knock him out. Basso's route is a bit tricky to anticipate. Sometimes he'll enter this room, other times he won't do so, if I recall correctly. Like he was quite busy preparing. Looks like dinner to me based on the food I see here, but it must be breakfast for the guards. basically a dumbwaiter, not an actual elevator. We'll take it up after we continue to search more of this kitchen area. Note that when holding a flare, we are incredibly visible. Funds we needed has been collected, but we should always try to get more. It would seem as if the servant is supposed to stand on this in order to deliver food up to that dining room without ever being noticed doing so. I'm guessing Lady Rumford doesn't want the servants visible when setting food out on that table. That's the archer we saw from a distance before. Let's put him with the servant we knocked out. Sorry about that, everyone. Servants' rooms. Probably the captain of the guard stays here as well. Has his own room, as opposed to sleeping in the barracks. You'll note that you're not seeing anything in the lower right-hand corner when I interact with this stuff, and when I pick up things, it's not shown either. I have auto-equip turned off this time around. Dunya. Sometimes I think I missed the days when crime ruled the streets, as the sheriff would have it. Either way we walk in fear. But before we lost at most a purse. Well, now we may be shut up in irons simply for seeing the wrong thing at the wrong time. Give me the old days back again, and a pox upon Truart and all his thugs. Sounds like crime has been cleaned up in the city since we last saw Garrett walking out in it. But it might be difficult to adhere to the laws now. Sounds like there's corruption now in the city guard. Not that there probably wasn't earlier.
Something moved there. Nothing there. Weird.
We're gonna have to probably knock out that guard as well.
Well, that's her door. Guess Basso can open it. He's not much of a sneak, but he can sure handle a lock.
Garrett's voice sounded extremely loud. We will adjust that. Plumbing. There must be a bathtub up above this. A leak, and sure enough, tile supports for it. Really dark in here. Two candles, a tray with some food on it. Maybe Basso visited Genevieve on occasion. No, this area is too heavily guarded. Probably just extra supplies stored here. I was thinking maybe some people held like a rendezvous here and ate in quiet in the dark. Shared, I don't know, a few precious moments with each other or so on. Still seems like it to me, with a tray with a slice of bread on it. Wonder who was down here. Maybe some of the guards. I suppose this is some sort of small, or not actually too small, meeting room where the servants can meet. A bit elegant for that. A decent room too here. Perhaps this is where the captain of the guard actually stays. we go upstairs, let's make sure Basso's path is clear. So we have 3 more guards to knock out. I may want to be able to run through these areas. Let's see if we throw this crate against this back wall. Does that get the guard to investigate? No. Maybe we can leave that guard there.
Who has done this foul thing? Don't think you'll escape. Things been mucked around with. Watch out for strangers. I'll find you. I'll find you. Watch for trouble. Bad day for you, looks like. One way or another, I'll find you. All right, where'd you go? I'll find you. I'll find you.
Okay, so she is really well aware of us.
Charge!
We're gonna need a way to get around her. To knock her out. Bit sloppy. It works in the end. That should be all the guards that I think we'll need to knock out to let Basso escape. Though I am still tempted to knock out this other guard. I think we should. So, we can use flash bombs to stun guards, as you've seen right there. And while they're in the stun animation, you can knock them out with a blackjack from, I think, any direction. We'll try to be a little bit more clever about it.
Come on now. What was that? Come back here and fight! Just wait till I find you. Ugh.
I'd like to hide these from Lady Genevieve so she doesn't see the unconscious bodies. Alright, everyone. That's all the guards knocked out, I think, down here in the basement. We'll try to avoid knocking anyone else out. To go up into that big lit room. There might be multiple guards who walk into it on patrol. Let's go and take the other stairs we saw down here past that one meeting room. It at least looked a little darker for the approach upstairs. And we don't need to go upstairs if we don't want to. We could end the mission now, probably. We should try to see if there's any more loot. Well, we know there's more loot upstairs. We are currently sitting at 665 totals worth of wealth. One second, everyone. This seems really loud to me. I apologize for this, but I need to adjust the controls. Oh, sorry, the audio. It's just too loud. So we're going to set the ambient volume down. I'm going to take this opportunity to use the restroom really quick, too. So give me a few seconds. Okay, I think it's acceptable now. Let's continue. Looks like there's a carpet on at the top of these stairs. The guard's not up there for too long, but we should still try to see what he's guarding.
Odd noise! Nothing now.
Must be Lady Rumford's bedroom. That's suspicious. There's a metal door there. There must be a lever to open it. A tiara. Beautiful one at that.
What was that noise? Oh, well, it must have been nothing.
Okay, not bad. Let's stay here and wait for the other guard patrolling this hallway to turn around from us here, and we can tail him a bit. tile. This will make a lot of noise. That leak we saw in the basement must be under this. And the pipes must go to that toilet in the other room. We'll wait here again for the guard to show up and turn and follow him again. I didn't like trying to sneak past him from the bathroom. One misstep and he'll hear us on tile, whirl around, and then we're in trouble. I'd rather avoid having to knock out another guard if we can.
I hate creepy noises.
Very elegant looking recital room. And a silver flute. We'll wait here until we hear the guard walk past this store, going to the left. Some place to leave your coats. A magnificent looking... what would this room be? Foyer? No. It's not a throne room, though, either. I guess where more entertainment is. There is a special secret here. It's a new objective, which is completed the moment that you find it, if I recall correctly. It's in that little slit there. 2 golden rings.
What's that? Probably just the wind. Huh?
Just gonna wait here for a bit and see if the guard who walked past this doorway walks back again to the west, to our left.
Looks like it's nothing.
Some guest rooms on this wing of the house. Sounds like there's another carpet upstairs. Chamber pot, I think. Nothing in this room. Beautiful gold necklace someone just left here. She must have had a guest here who was a little absent-minded. And a diamond ring left here too. Any doors open when we were waiting in one of those rooms down below. So I don't think this guard we hear on the other side of this door opens any.
inside, the grass and the trees.
We'll wait here for the one hallway guard to walk past us and up those stairs, and then time it so we're past this other guard. I think he was the one we first saw when we had poked out from the butler's room, so we don't need to go near him or interact with him in any way. There might be a room he's guarding in that small hallway, but I don't think it's worth checking it. The same for the goblet in the courtyard. I don't feel like trying to have to navigate through that area under the watchful eye of two archers. Sometimes I decide that the loot just isn't worth the effort to get.
Someone say something.
There is a door there, but we're not going to check it. This is just the reception hall, I suppose. I'm looking at it now, because I think that leads out to the courtyard. So this must be where Lady Rumsford receives guests from, and then talks to them for a bit, and then sees them to their chambers.
All right, who's making the racket?
Alright, everyone. That's, I think, as much of this mansion as I'm willing to loot. The path for Basso is completely clear. There's not a single conscious guard down here in the basement, and the servant's knocked out too. Let's go ahead and let Basso know that he can now go rescue his Genevieve. We didn't even take any damage, though we were seen by the one female guard here. She was on super high alert, having seen a knocked out body right next to her, and then noticing us will keep her in the highest alert level imaginable in the game, which makes it impossible for us to sneak up on her and knock her out without moss arrows to assist us. We don't need any of the keys any longer either. Have to be rather close to let him know. Basso makes a lot of noise when he walks, and I don't know if these guards will notice him walk in front of him because of the footsteps he makes. I think he waits there to listen and see where there might be guards. He will run through that dining room and out through the side here. Coming from that hallway in a few more seconds.
Basso!
Shh, come with me.
I've never been able to enter into Lady Genevieve's chambers to see if there's anything worth looting in it. I'm going to assume there isn't, though. The opportunity to get through that door is so small.
Come with me.
And mission complete. This is by far the easiest mission in Thief 2, and I think the only one I am so familiar with, because I've done this mission many times. As a heads up, a warning to you, the rest of these missions will take quite some time to get through compared to this one. We did this one in one video, but the next are going to take probably 2 to 4, at least, to get through them, because I am very unfamiliar with the guard patrol routes and where the objectives are in some of them, especially the later ones that I've only done once. So, if I made this seem easy, know that it gets significantly harder from here on out. The new objective we got when we picked up those rings, what would a wedding be without rings? Get 2 for Basso and Genevieve. Bonus objective, and we did indeed get those 2 gold rings. We got almost all the loot. Actually, we left 100-something still around. That copper goblet was probably only worth maybe 15. I wonder where the other loot is in this mission. Oh, and we missed a secret. Oh, that's interesting. 2 of 3 found. Wonder where that other secret is. Guess I'll have to start watching other people play through this game on YouTube to figure out where this stuff is. In any case, we were successful. Good for us. Awesome. Thank you guys for watching, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Take care, guys.